All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sell My Business podcast. This is your host, August. Today, my guest is Lutz Lehmann. Lutz has over 27 years of experience in international business consulting, M&A, program management, business development, manufacturing, and strategic exit planning. Since 2016, he has focused solely on business exit planning, business sales, mergers and acquisitions, and business valuations. Prior to founding Magnus Business Group, he worked as CEO and COO in industries such as electronics, telecommunication, and automotive manufacturing. Over the past 10 years, Lutz has sold companies in the service, manufacturing, high-tech, medical, and automotive industry, and successfully prepared businesses for transition. He is a certified exit planning advisor, a certified M&A professional, and holds a California real estate license. So Lutz, tell me a little bit more about your background and what got you into becoming a business broker.
Thanks, August, and thanks for having me on your podcast. So yeah, I'm my history. I worked in big corporate. I worked in small businesses in the past, and then in '97 I started as a business consultant. I help businesses to get back into the make profit again, right? That's what's my major focus on that case. And then since then, I worked as a CEO in different companies. I worked as a COO in companies to help them to get ready for an M&A or for a transaction. So that means to help or to set up systems, get the company ready for an acquisition. So that's in a nutshell. Of course, I have done more, but that's in a nutshell what I've done. And then 8 years ago, I thought, okay, I can actually work with smaller, medium-sized and lower middle market businesses. And since then, I sold, as you mentioned already, many businesses in different industries.
Yeah, got it. Awesome. Yeah. So give us some advice here on, from a business owner. I'm not sure about the process of selling my business. Can you walk us through some of the key components of selling a business?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So the first step is always evaluation. I mean, without evaluation, you don't know how much you can achieve on the market, of what price you could achieve on the market. So this is the first step, and I'll take two different components that actually goes into evaluation. One is the financial. I always call it the quantitative valuation. I'm using financial statements, income statements, balance sheet. I use tax returns. These are necessary, and then over the last 3 years and year to date. So this is more like the quantitative valuation, where you get a range of the value of a company. But that's not only it. You also have to look at the qualitative aspects of the business. How is the business run? Does it have processes and procedures in place? How is the owner involvement? What is the customer concentration? Do we have just one customer who makes 60% of revenue? That is not so good, right? So these are components I look at. We call it eight different value drivers I look at. And each of these drivers, they determine the value of the business. And as a rule of thumb is the higher the risk, the lower the value, and the higher the risk, the lower the value. So that's how it actually I determine the valuation. This is the first step. So I explain it to the business owner, and sometimes that's why I got into exit planning. Show them that if we have a runway of a year or so, we can fix certain items, certain value drivers, so that the value increases over time. And I've done it in the past 3 years. At least, and we got very successful with that. So this is the valuation part. So when it comes to represent the business owner in the sales process, the first step is to determine what would be a deal structure that would fit, the owner's desire. So we have two different items. We have either an asset deal or asset transaction, or we have a stock sale. So these are the two main deal transactions, and it depends on what company is it, what corporation is it, an S corp, is it a C corp, is it what industry is the company in, and so you have to look at that in the beginning before you start the whole marketing process. What would be the best deal structure, and that actually leads into what taxes need to be paid, right? There's a big, I would say, windfall at some point. And for example, I sold a business. It was a C corp, started in 62, so because the C corp, the owners, they get taxed twice, right? On the personal level and on the corporation level. So the best structure or deal structure would be a stock sale, because you only have capital gain, right? So that's maybe a little bit more favorable for the business owner. The buyer has, or he, I would say the setback or the disadvantage for the buyer is that he also inherits all liabilities. And many buyers don't want that, right? So you have to find out in the beginning, how can you emphasize or underline that deal structure? And that's a conversation with the business owner. So if you have an asset sale, you only sell the assets to a buyer, and the seller still keeps the corporation, right? So in this case, and because of taxes, it's the skill set of the broker to determine later on the allocation of the purchase price. So you want to make sure that you don't get too many items into the ordinary income tax section. You get it more into the capital gain or long-term capital gain section. So these valuation, deal structure, and taxes, they belong together before you even start to put it on the market. And you have to form a team with a CPA, with maybe another tax specialist, depends, your financial planner, to come up with the best solution for the seller.
Got it. So awesome stuff. So one main question a lot of business owners have is, they want to sell their business. They know that it's probably better to use a business broker to help them, and they're wondering why. So like, what are the things that business brokers do, list a business? What's some of the proactive things they do once they list a business to, get a buyer in the door?
So there are two main aspects I would mention here. So why using a business broker? The first one is the business broker they sell business all the time. They know the in and outs, what you can do, and how the process looks like. The seller or the business owner, he is going through that process only once, right? Or maybe twice, if he has experience. So this is the one thing. So he does not have experience in selling the business. What the steps are, what is necessary to make a successful transaction. Number two is the business owner, because it takes between 4 and 9 months to sell a business. It depends on many different factors. It takes time. So the business owner should actually still focus on running the business. So if he is involved in a business transaction, it takes up a lot of time. So it's not just selling a house, being at home sometimes. No, there is a due diligence process, negotiation. You interact with the CPA, with the tax, with an attorneys. with the buyer's attorney, with the buyer's financial advisors, etc., etc. So it will take a lot of time to really get to the end of the deal. So these are the two main, I would say, aspects why I'm using a business broker.
Got it. Yeah. So kind of this is usually a shorter podcast, so we're kind of starting to wrap things up. What are some kind of lasting advice that you have for business owners who looking to sell their business that we haven't necessarily talked about yet?
It's a good question. I mean, there are many different. I could go on and on and on and talk about selling a business, right? So there is one major aspect is that a business owner, before he thinks about starting selling the business, is what do you want to do after you sold the business? So I see many business owners that don't know exactly what they want to do afterwards, after they sold the business, and then they have regrets.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to be clear that they know what they want to do. Is the net proceeds, what they get, is that enough for them? Let's say if they want to retire, to live on,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that needs to be looked in the beginning. So this is one major. So what do you want to do after you sell the business?
Got it. Yeah.
And the second one is being prepared. This is the major. Many business owners are not properly prepared. They run the business successfully, but there are always certain issues that, when it comes to the sales process, they're not prepared. They're missing documents. They're missing these or that. So a business broker will help them to really get everything in place so that they have everything ready to show in a due diligence, and that is preparation. And whenever you want to sell, if you get prepared early enough, it doesn't matter when you sell the business, you're always ready.
Yeah. Got it. Cool, Lutz. So if anyone's interested in selling the business, how can they reach you? Email, phone, what should they do?
Yeah, they can actually reach out to me via email, which is actually Lutz is my first name, and then magnusbusinessgroup.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can actually by phone, it's 805-259-4795. And you can also go on my website, www.magnusbusinessgroup.com. So I'm online as well, or via LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on Facebook. I'm sorry for the Facebook users. I'm not on Facebook, only on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Great stuff. We appreciate Lutz spending the time out of your busy day to get on this podcast with us. We appreciate anyone who's listened in to this in its entirety. And yeah, if you guys need any help selling your business, you can reach out to Lutz, or you could reach out to us and we'll connect you with a broker in your local area. So thank you, Lutz.
Thank you, August.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. All right, let me stop the recording.